Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Growing up, I lived on a dead-end court, a cul-de-sac. We had a family move in when I was in college who were immigrants from India, and we got to know them, and they were enamored with the fact that despite growing up in the United States, my siblings and I were retaining some of our Jewish traditions that our parents had taught us. And I remember my neighbor having tea with my mother and asking her to explain how she had transmitted this tradition in the United States and kept her children understanding the culture from which they came. During Passover, there is a tradition that I'd like to share with you. Actually, between Passover and Shavuot, we're encouraged to study Pirkei Avot. It's one of the tractates of our Mishnah. So in the next 6 weeks, I thought we would look at the first Mishnah of every chapter. And the first Mishnah of chapter 1 talks about the transmission of tradition. It opens by explaining how Moses passed the Torah on to Joshua, Joshua passed the Torah on to the elders, etc. And it closes with 3 pieces of advice about how to maintain the tradition. Number 1, be discerning of the text. Number 2, have many disciples. And number 3, build a fence around the Torah. The Bartanura, one of the commentators on the Mishnah, says, what does it mean to be discerning of the text? He says it's not enough to just simply pass it on word for word, that each generation must be discerning and study it, analyze it, and apply the teachings of the Torah to their generation. Building a fence around the Torah, the Magen Avot says, not every mitzvah is easy to keep in every age. Therefore, we must be stringent. We must be careful to guard the traditions of the Torah, even the pieces that are difficult for us to accept. And why do we need many disciples? Well, this one is my opinion. I don't think that the Torah should be in the hands of a few experts if we want it to survive. To ensure the vitality of the Torah and increase the odds that it will be transmitted to the next generation, I think many people need to learn Torah. So this neighbor, what did my mother tell her? She said, if you love your traditions and you teach them to your children, they will receive some of them. And I haven't seen this neighbor in many years. They moved away, but it is my hope that she and her family who were newly immigrated found ways to maintain their Indian traditions even here in the United States. Shabbat Shalom.